So I'll pass it over to you, Tai.
Woohoo! Hello, 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 everybody. Come on in, get something to write with, make sure you are comfortable. We are going to be together, and anyone who has ever taken a class with me, you already know that you need something to write some notes down on because I'm going to give you everything I can in the time that we are together. So come on in, get comfortable, and I'm going to share my screen so we can see everything and we can get started and we do not lose any time at all. So let me know when you can see my screen. Make sure that you like type in the comments. This is going to be interactive, you all. So I am looking for the yeses. I'm going to be asking you for exclamation points. That's my favorite thing to ask for. The number one, number two, me. This is going to be interactive. Hey, with interact. I like that. Just made a joke. Okay. So great. So you can all see it. So listen, welcome to the Quiz and Grow framework for e-commerce entrepreneurs. Now, here's the truth. If you are here and you're not an entrepreneur, it's okay. If you're here, you're not an e-commerce entrepreneur, it's okay. I am not going to tell anybody. My job here today is to give you some training that will help you learn how to use quizzes to grow your business, to generate leads, and to make more sales. Now, if that's what you want, type me in the comments. Let's see if we can make this work. If you want to generate more leads, grow your email list, and make more sales, go ahead and type me in the comments. I see, oh yeah, I like that. Me, all right, they're coming through. You guys are pros at this. You know how to do this. All right, I got you. I see you're experts. Okay, so here's the deal. If you have failed in the past at growing your list, it is not your fault. If every time somebody says grow your list, you get that crunch in the middle of your stomach because you're like, I know I'm not doing it, it's not your fault. If you've been worried about how you're going to generate leads and get a steady stream of prospects coming into your pipeline, I want you to put those fears to rest. And if you think you can't grow your email list or make more sales without doing a whole lot more work, that is not true. So if you're an e-commerce entrepreneur and you have not been able to crack the code to get your product in front of more people, then right now, today, you are in the right place. Doris says, that feels like a nice warm hug. Thanks for sharing that. So here today, I'm here to show you how to grow your email list and scale your sales using a quiz funnel. My goal for today is I really want to help people who are struggling to grow their list because here's what I know. If you want to make more sales online, you have to have an audience that actually sees your offers and your content. And I want you to be able to get more sales without wasting your time on, like a whole bunch of, Facebook ads or trying to figure out the tech elements. We want to kind of eliminate some of that for you today by showing you how to use this framework to actually grow your email list. So let's do a little bit of a reality check. All right. The best way for you to make more sales is to get more leads. I think we can all agree to that. Now, one of the best ways to convert leads into sales is through your email list. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. And then using a quiz is a smarter and more automated way to grow your list. So do me a favor, for those of you who are here in the comments, I want to know if you have an email list. If you have an email list, type in yes. If you don't have one, type in no. If you're like, what's an email list? Give me some question mark. And it's okay if you want to give me a question mark. Look at all those yeses coming through. So who are you learning from? And I see Emma says, yes, but too far, too small. Fantastic. We're going to help you out with that today. So who are you learning from? Who am I? So I am Tai Goodwin. I'm the CEO of the Momentum Agency. I'm an award-winning instructional designer. The award that I won, the course that I actually won an award for was anti-bribery laws in foreign countries. So I figure if I can get an award for an e-learning course on an anti-bribery course, I'm pretty good at what I do, okay? I've got years of experience as a teacher and trainer. I've got a master's degree in instructional design and online learning, and I actually launched e-learning at Barnes & Noble, and my latest corporate gig was the technical support training manager for a little company called Lead Pages, where I designed the training program for their lead page platform and also for their drip email marketing. However, in 2018, I walked away from my job with no backup and no business. Can somebody say yikes? Right? How many of you have had that experience where you're like, I don't have a job, I don't have a backup? I literally walked away from my business. Now, while I was at Lead Pages, I was in a really interesting position. I could not take on any clients because I signed a little agreement that said you can't do it, right? So when I walked away from my job, I did not have I didn't even have a resume. I didn't have like an interview lined up. I didn't have another job lined up, and I had no business. So I needed to do something fast. So I launched back into business coaching. I had been an entrepreneur before and went into corporate because the opportunity at Lead Pages was like super cool. And I went back into being a business coach, and I was trying to get a steady stream of clients, but I hadn't talked to anybody in about 2.5 years, right? So I wasn't really booking enough sales calls, and everything was trickling in. Everything felt hard, and I didn't have a consistent way to generate leads. So my income was inconsistent and unpredictable. If you can relate to that, type 1 in the comments. And if you want to type it to me privately because you don't want anyone else to know that your income has been inconsistent and unpredictable, go ahead and do it to me privately. I will know. It'll just be between you and me. Okay. I see a lot of ones coming in, so we're in the right place. So here's what happened. I had a pity party, right? I was crying and whining to my coach. I don't have people on my list and I'm not getting any sales. And I was whining. I was having a pity party. And some of you might have been there. Some of you might be there right now, and it is okay. We all can be in our feelings sometimes. But I made a decision. As I'm watching other people who are generating leads and building their list and making sales, I knew that was possible for me too. And so I asked a different question. Instead of asking, why am I not getting leads? Why am I not making sales? I asked, how can I? And so here's one of the first things I want you to take away, that any change that you make in your business or in life, it always starts with an internal decision or shift, not just outward action. So some of you that are looking for tools and you're trying a whole bunch of different things, that can get you only so far if you haven't made an internal shift or internal decision that you are going to be successful in your business and you're going to be willing to do what it takes. So here's the deal. If you have made an internal decision or internal shift that you are going to generate leads so you can make more sales, I want you to type 2 in the comments. Let me see who's here. Let me see who's really, really serious. I love it. I love the 2s coming in. Love it, love it, love it. So here's another question I asked. I asked what worked instead of like mulling around about what wasn't working. Sometimes we get caught in that, right? Where we're, oh, this doesn't work and this doesn't work and people don't buy it. And this. Pause, take a deep breath, and ask a different question. And my question was, what did work? So here's what I knew. Here's what I remember. When I left Lead Pages, I had a list of about 2,500 people that I hadn't talked to in 2.5 years. It was a cold list, a dead list. But I sent that list of 2,500 people that I hadn't talked to, I sent them a link to a quiz. Within 2 weeks, I had 500 subscribers back on my list. I had an aha moment, right? I'm going to put my Oprah voice on and say, so what was your aha moment, right? That's my Oprah impression for those of you who it wasn't good enough for, right? Right? But here's the solution. I just needed more eyeballs on my quiz, right? I just needed more eyeballs. And some of you are the same way. A lot of the people that I work with, they are brilliant at what they do. They have an amazing product or service, but the biggest problem is they don't have enough eyeballs. They need more eyeballs, right? More people see, more people opt in, more sales. That's the process that happens. I love it, Doris. You get a quiz, you get a quiz, you get a quiz. I'm going to make a meme of me doing that. It's so perfect. I love it. So when I did that, when I got more eyeballs on my quiz, here's what happened. Do you want to know what happened? If you want to know what happened, type yes in the comments. I told you this was going to be interactive. I love the interaction. Yes, yes, yes. The yeses are coming through. I'm so excited to share this with you because I still get tickled when I take a look at these numbers. These are my actual numbers from Active Campaign. Now, we took this like after we started our process, but you see that's 2,200 people that we started with, right? And over 122 days, we went from 2,200 people to 11,000 people. So when we take a look at the big picture, when we actually started, I actually started with 1,700 people on my email list when I started this process. And I went from 1,700, and by the time, we stopped counting, I had 12,000 people on my email list. It was one quiz and one Facebook ad. And I didn't spend thousands and thousands of dollars, because I know that's the question that somebody says, well, you must have spent thousands. You know how much I spent? We spent about $600 a month over that period of time, which when you've got folks that are spending $10,000 a week on Facebook ads, that was a drop in the bucket. Okay. These are my real numbers. This was just last year, Sandy. I see your question. This was just last year. This was just last year. So I don't do hype. I am all help. I'm going to only show you things that I've done that have worked for me and that have worked for my clients. So long story short, I grew my email list from 1,700 to 12,000 subscribers. And I brought in $31,000 in clients over 3 months. So I would have asked my clients, if it was going to cost you $1,800, which is what I spent, right? Over those 3 months, that's $600. If you could take $1,800 and turn it into $31,000, would you do it? Would you do it? Yes. And ever since then, we've been hitting 5-figure months in our business. And this is true. And if you're on here, this is true because M came on to be a client and we built some things out for her. But M didn't know me before she found that quiz. Right? Because when you bring people on, you ask them, well, how did you find it? She didn't know me before the quiz. And she found me through the quiz and she became a client. So I started building quizzes for my clients. And I created the Quiz and Grow Rich framework. And we've got a piece of that we're going to share with you today. And I'm so, so, so excited about this. So before I jump into that, though, I want to talk about why I use Interact and why I decided to become a partner with them, because it was crucial into us getting the results that we did. Here are some of the reasons that I love using Interact. First of all, I love the integrations. Right, I'm big on Active Campaign, but if you're using Klaviyo, which a lot of our e-commerce clients use, it does connect with that. The interface is user-friendly. You can literally go step by step by step by step and get your quiz built. The metrics and tracking, I'm really big on numbers around implementation for marketing. Right, I tell everybody that I was Facebook rich and profit poor for the first 5 years of my business because I had a lot of Facebook likes, but I wasn't bringing in the money. So what you measure really makes a difference, right? I like the look and the ability to add images. I've got an example of that I'm going to share with you. I love all of the different publishing options. That is critical, being able to publish to my, my Facebook page, being able to publish it with a link, being able to embed the code. So I love all that. And the final thing, which we're going to talk about more today because we're focused on what we call hyper segmentation, is being able to tag people's results. I've played around with quiz platforms, and the only thing it does is it lets you pull over that one final result or that one score, and that's it. But you need the ability to tag people based on their results and based on their questions. So that's one of my favorite things about how we get to use Interact in the platform. So I reached out to them, right? Because I was so excited with the results that I was getting. And now I'm really excited because I get to share this with you because I know there are a lot of people who need to generate leads for their business. And I don't know if you know this, but quizzes are the new webinar, right? So 5 years ago, people were just getting on webinars. Now I'm an instructional designer. So in corporate, I've been teaching online since 1999. And the only reason I know that is because we were all worried about Y2K wiping our computers out, right? I work for a national sales company. We're like, oh no, what's going to happen with Y2K? So I've been teaching online since 1999, but in the business space, webinars just started really becoming a popular thing within the last 5 or 6 years. But now quizzes are the new webinar. And so the fact that you're here, you're all on the cutting edge of something that's becoming more and more important to have as part of your marketing toolkit. So how does this apply to you, right? You're like, that's a great story, blah, 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 blah. It's not about me. Here's how it applies to you. You have products and services that you want to sell, and you need more people to know about it. And you are absolutely tired of sales and customers trickling in. And if you had a steady flow of leads coming in, you could stop worrying about where your next sales are coming from. Now, if I got this right, type true in the comments for me. If I got it wrong, tell me, Ty, you're wrong. But if I'm right on this, let me know that I'm true. I see, yep, true, true, true. I know my people. Now, here's something else you might be thinking, and you can tell me if this is true too. You might be thinking that you're not sure if a quiz is really going to work for your business. Okay? You might be thinking, will a quiz really work for my niche? Or maybe will it work for my audience? Or I'm not sure, if a quiz is right for, my type, of business, right? I don't know. These are some of the questions that I hear from folks. Here's what we're going to do on today's call. We're going to identify the benefit of using quizzes over passive lead magnets. I got a statistic that's going to blow your mind when you see it. I'm going to talk about how quizzes can be used for e-commerce brands, but I promise you that even if you're not e-commerce, I've got some examples of how to use it outside of that as well. I'm going to show you how we create profiles so you can segment your audience. And I'm going to talk about how you can create questions that help you really uncover exactly what your community wants. And I've used the word community instead of audience because I like engagement. I don't like using the word audience because it feels like people are just going to watch, but we want people to be engaged. So it's a community. So that's what we're going to share today. I promise I'm going to deliver on that. So let's start with this. Why quizzes work better than traditional lead magnets? Here's the truth. Here's that stat I was talking to you about. Interactive content has twice as many conversions than static or passive content. And we've seen this. What do you think the traditional opt-in rate is, right? If you've got a lead magnet, like a PDF download, or you've got a checklist, or even a video that you give to people when they opt in, give me a number. What percentage of people do you think opt in from that? Type a number in the chat. It doesn't have to be right. Take a wild guess at it. 5%, okay. 3, 50, 15. Okay, I'm seeing these numbers come in. All right. Okay, we got some numbers. We got some for 75. Ooh, 75 is really high. So the traditional numbers that we see for opt-ins like PDF and one-way things, it's really about 15 to 25% that you see people opting in and have that conversion rate. With quizzes, what we've seen for our clients is that they convert anywhere from 30 to 40 up to 50%. So think about that. If you're investing time in creating a lead magnet, and we all know it takes time when you do it right, wouldn't you rather have 50% or 40% than just have like 15 or 20%? Right? So Jen says the one quiz I created generated so many more leads than any of my other lead magnets. Me too, right? We had that experience too. So here's why quizzes work better. You can take a screenshot of this with your phone. I'm totally okay with that. PDFs and videos by themselves are just one way, right? I say to my clients, all you got is a stinking email address, right? So if all you get is a stinking email address, how are you going to know anything more about your audience? Quizzes give you additional information beyond just knowing somebody's email address. So I said this the other day, right? So, would you marry somebody based on their email address? Right? Now, I said this too. If it was like Jason Momoa at hotmail.com, I would marry him. Idris Elba at Hotmail, yes, I'd marry him. But anybody else, no. Okay. But that's what we do, right? We get an email address and we try to get people to make a commitment to a sale. We need more information. Somebody said I'm about to get catfished. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hands off, he's mine. Interest is mine. We want to fight about that, Doris. We'll fight about it. Now, listen, everybody has a download, right? But not everybody has a quiz. And here's the other thing. We're kind of narcissistic, right? We like getting information about, oh, tell me, who I am. We like getting information about ourselves. Tell me which Harry Potter character I am. Tell me which city I should live in. Tell me which dog I should buy. Like, we like getting that information about ourselves. And here's the most important thing. Your audience, your customers, your community, they're looking for personalized guidance. And with the quiz, you can deliver that, especially if you're doing e-commerce. If you've got tens of products on your site, your clients are going and your customers are going in there looking all over the place. But when you can give them, this is for you, they buy. And I've got an example that I'm going to share with you, some real proof from one of our clients. Now, you might also be thinking, I don't understand how a quiz is different than a survey. How many of you have seen somebody say, I'm giving you a quiz and it was just a survey, right? Surveys, here's the deal about survey. I see a question coming in. So Jen says, was that conversion rate of 30 to 40% off of total visitors or start? It starts, right? Yep, so I got 33% conversion on starts, but only 13 on total views. Yep, absolutely right. It's on people who started. So the 40 to 50%, the 30% that we see is on people who actually start the quiz, not just people who come and view it. That's always going to be much higher, right? Because people just want to come and check it out because they're nosy. Great point. Good, good, good. And Adam Cam says quizzes have worked very well for my eCam store. Great, fantastic. So if you don't understand how a quiz is different from a survey, think about this. If you ask me how old I am, how many kids I have, where do I live, what school I went to, I already know that about myself. I'm just telling you information that I already know. That's boring. And that's what a survey does. Quizzes and surveys are not the same thing. And I've seen people say, I'm going to give you a quiz, and it's actually just 4 questions about me and all the stuff that I know about me, right? And so if you think that, I want you to shift, because a survey, people just ignore surveys all the time. The minute you mention people are like, nope, they're tuning out. But a quiz, people are interested. Surveys don't tell people anything about themselves they don't already know, right? It's still one way. But a quiz is actually giving people insight about themselves that they didn't know before. And that's if they've done it the right way. If you ask the wrong questions, you're not going to get it. Here's something else people get wrong. Just making a quiz. And I get this all the time. Well, I have a quiz, and I really look at it, it's just a quiz, right? A quiz has got questions, and that's it. You go to the page, you click the things, you get questions, you give their email address, and it's like, yay, I got people on my list. And then they sit there and you don't do anything with them. That's not going to be helpful. What you really want to have is a quiz funnel. It's not just a quiz, it's an entire funnel. And those of you who've opted in, this is part of the quiz and Grow Rich framework that you were able to download. We sent the link to this, right? It's an entire funnel. It's bringing the traffic in, getting them to the quiz, having a results page, segmenting your audience, which is what we're going to talk about, nurturing them so that they buy from you, and then delivering on your promise. So this is how you've got to think of this. If all you build is a quiz, you're going to be really, really disappointed, because you're not going to get the result that you want. You don't just want people on your list, you want people to buy. Now, if that's true, that you don't just want people on your list and you want people to buy, type an amen in the comments. I see the amens. We did a challenge a few weeks ago, and they called me Pastor Tai. I said, I'll take it. I'll be the pastor of quiz funnels. Well, actually, I'm the quiz funnel queen, but I'll be pastor of the quiz funnels as well. I'll be ministering healing to people's quiz funnels, okay? So let's talk about how quiz funnels can be used for e-commerce brands. Now, some people think this, and let me know if this is you, right? Because some people think this, that quizzes can't work for a product-based business. Because we typically see quizzes for people who are coaches and consultants. And it's like, what's your intellectual IQ? Or what's your emotional IQ? What type of parent are you? There are all these deep, meaningful, quiz things, and people are taking those, right? But you can use quizzes for a product-based business. I'm going to tell you, and I'll give you an example. This is one of my favorite stories. Right? Now, in order to make this work, you have to make sure you're choosing the right type of quiz for your funnel. This is really, really important because I'm going to show you how to choose a type, and I'm going to show you what we did for one of our clients. In Interact, you've got 3 different types of quizzes. So if you've been wondering which one to start, because I've seen this question come up often, you've got an assessment quiz, you've got a scored quiz, but you want the personality quiz. Now you might be thinking, personality, what does personality have to do with products? I promise you, I've got some examples that you're going to really make, it's going to really make this connection for you. But you want to start by choosing the right type of quiz. And here's an example, the e-commerce diva. So this is one of my clients. She just launched her business in February of this year. Now, let me tell you something else about her. This is a part-time business for her. She's actually an ophthalmologist. She's an eye surgeon. So she has a day job. So she is launching while working. Her side business is eyelashes. She sells magnetic eyelashes on the side. And we use her quiz to drive people to a specific product, like, which type of lash suits you, right? Are you the heiress? Are you the rich chick? Are you the glam and gaudy? Like, which one are you? So you want to see some results from her quiz? If you want to see results from her quiz, type yes in the comments. I'm not going to show it to you if you don't want to see it. All right, I see a few people want to see it. Okay, I gotta see a lot more people want to see it. Okay, so take a look at this. These are from Active Campaign, right? These are the emails. Remember I told you how it's an entire funnel? These are the emails that we send out after people get the quiz. These are the results. This is the first email. We send out a series of 5 emails. These are the monetary results from that first email only. Last 14 days, right? You see that. If you add up those numbers, the 2,000, the 13,000, the other 2,000, right? Over 23,000 in just 2 weeks. She spent $30 a day on the ads that were driving them to this quiz. Now she's got other ads for other stuff and people are going to the site, but we spend money also directly on promoting this quiz to an audience. The quiz, which type of lash is right for you? 2 weeks, $23,000. 1 email, right? And actually it would be more because she actually has 5 lashes, but I couldn't get I couldn't cut the screen the right way. So we got these 4 at the top. So a product-based business, e-commerce, using a quiz, making money. This is real stuff. This is really, really happening. And like I said, she just started this in February, and we keep having to up her her subscription on her email. So she has, at this point, she has about 10,000, actually 11,000 people on her email list, and about 6,000 of those people have taken the quiz. So Rebecca, what about service? Service-based, I'm a service-based business. I'm a coach and I'm a strategist, and I use quizzes in my business, right? When I was talking to you about that, the numbers that I did in the beginning, growing my email list from that, 1,700 to 12,000, it was as a coach. The quiz was, what type of entrepreneur are you, right? Doris is like, can we see how she worded the ad? They'll have to bring me back and we'll do another class on that. So many people think that personality types and profiles just don't have anything to do with what you're selling. I've got some other examples for you so you can see. Okay. So this is one of my favorite ones. This is funny. This is for a feminine hygiene product. And the quiz that we created is, what kind of fruit is your cookie? Right? It is fun, right? So, we know we call the cookie, right, the thing, but it's, what kind of fruit is your cookie? Okay. And so the result is, yes, ma'am, you're a strawberry. And the strawberry is the one that's the most traditional woman. But when they take this quiz, she recommends a product to them based on what they need. Like if you're the mango or you're the passion fruit, right? She's got different products to help you with feminine hygiene. See? Yeah, see that? So here's another example from a candle company, and I can never remember how to say their name. It's the Brother Ferrer. The Fer I will get the name, but this is for one of our clients that sells candles. And the quiz is called, that's a picture of the family. It's of three brothers who own this business. And we created a quiz for them called Which Scent Soothes You? Right? Because you think candles, what the heck are you going to create a quiz around candles? Like, what would that even be? I'm going to walk you through exactly how we come up with the categories and the profiles so you can see how it works. Again, we're using this to get people to buy, right? What kind of candles should they buy? So here's some examples of the questions. And this is one of the things I said I liked about Interact, how you can actually use images in your quiz, right? So you just want an all expense paid trip. Where are you going? If you're going to Paris, the city of love, are you going to the tropical Tahiti? Are you going on an adventure to an African safari? Are you starting to see how I might be breaking some of these down? Which gift would you like to receive? A couples massage, scuba lessons, salsa lessons, right? So I'm giving you some hints to how we're breaking some of this down, but I want you to see what's possible. You can use a quiz for a product-based business, especially in e-commerce, in order to learn more about your audience. Some of you are probably ahead of the game and you're seeing, right? I'm wondering if there's a connection between the people that like the city of love and a couples massage over people who are looking for salsa and an African safari. If you're thinking that, you are on the right track. Here's a couple of other ones. What type of food do you prefer? French or Italian cuisine? That's romantic. Or you love the flavor of Jamaican food. I'm not even going to try to do a Jamaican accent. I sound like a British person. I don't know. I can't do it, right? Or surprise me, right? And then you can see on the results page, right? That we have over here, you can see exactly how, just an example of a results page that we, created. You're looking for something tropical. Based on how you answer, you love water and sunshine. You need a candle that will transport you back to the last energizing tropical vacation you took, or that inspires you to make plans for your next trip. Here's the product that we recommend. We give them a button to the product. We tell them also that, hey, we sent you an email with a code off of your purchase. And we do that because we're training them. This is a pro tip. I didn't put this in here, but this is a pro tip. You don't want to give everything away on the results page. You want to train people to go to the email and open your email. So we tell them, hey, go visit the site, but then go to your inbox and get that code so you can come back and get that coupon. And you can make the coupon for like, only, going to work for the next 45 minutes or the next 48 hours, whatever you want. Now, if you're thinking I'm a service-based business, well, if you have a service-based business, we direct people to your Facebook group. You can direct people to book a call with you to your Facebook page, right? So if you don't have a product to sell, direct them to something, but you do want to have a call to action. And I could go on and on about that, but I won't bore you with those details. Is this clicking? Is this making sense? If this is making sense, give me a 1 in the comments. If you're excited about this, give me an exclamation point. If this is helping you and you can see how it can help you, I love it. Well, they came in really fast. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for giving me that feedback. That helps me. So I've got a couple of other quiz examples for you to see. So if you're not doing e-commerce, this is one for, and I hope this word is okay to put on the screen, but we have a client who has a book. And well, the book has been, highlighted in Forbes magazine. So I'm gonna go for it, right? Her book is called Bad Pitches and Power Pitches. And she teaches women how to make pitches, like win pitching contests where you pitch your business and you like make tens of thousands of dollars, right? That's her book. And we created a quiz that drives people to buy her book. So that's for an author. Then we have somebody who is a PR consultant. And are you press ready, right? Find out if your business is ready for press. Like, how do you know if you're actually ready to hire a PR person or not? And we use this because she was tired of people saying, I want PR, but they're not ready, right? They don't have all the things that they need to, really get her help. And so if they're not ready, based on the question, she will direct them to her Facebook group. If they are ready, she directs them to book a call with her. But this has cut down the number of people that are tire kickers and who are not ready to work with her. I've got a few more examples. Now, these are examples that I didn't do. right? But I want you to see that there are real world companies, that there are big companies that are using quizzes, because like I said, quizzes are the new webinar. So this is from Sephora, and they've got multiple quizzes, because that's the question that comes up. Well, can I have more than one quiz? You can have as many quizzes as you want. As a matter of fact, the data from HubSpot talks about how the more opt-ins you have, the more lead magnets you have, as long as they're targeted, the more people you actually get to sign up on your list. And also the more data and insights you have about what your audience needs. Okay. Let's see, somebody is sharing. I'm viewing Joyce Foster's screen. I'm not sure how that's happening.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off.
Yes, I'm gonna stop your screen sharing so we can get back to this.
Yeah.
All
there
right.
we go.
So this is Sephora. They've got multiple quizzes, and it inspires buyers on where to start. Right? Let's take a look at another one. This is Home Depot. Okay, so here, this is funny. So I don't do a lot of home stuff, right? That's what like Idris and Jason Momoa are for. So, right. But take a look at this. You see the guy in his underwear? I thought this was so funny. Your preferred grilling outfit is, right? Are you grilling in your underwear? But see, they made fun, right? They made fun. So they have a narrow niche. That's the other thing I want you to see, right? They're really narrow. You're looking for a grill, right? Oh, who's looking for a grill? They know their audience, and they infuse a lot of humor into it, okay? Here is for a bridal company. What word best describes your wedding day? Fun, fairy tale, glamorous, classic, romantic, elegant, right? And what they're doing is they're basing it off of style preference, inspiration, and it's highly visual. So here's what's possible. Take a screenshot of this. This is good. Here's what's possible. When you use a quiz, you're able to segment your audience so you can do some predictive planning. When do you like to know what's going to sell? We're building a quiz for someone who runs a boutique, so she can start to figure out what should she have more in her store. Does she need to have more accessories? Does she need to have more bright colors? Does she need to have more things for corporate people? Right? So predictive planning. You can personalize the messages and the experience for your community. It will provide increased opportunities for engagement. Someone was asking us the other day, what would you do for a restaurant? And let's say you, as a restaurant, you had a quiz, and some of the feedback you got back from your quiz was that people just love desserts. You could now have a coupon that goes out to those people around desserts, or you could bring in somebody and do a live cooking class. Well, I don't know how live you can do it anymore, but you can do a virtual cooking class, right, around the dessert. You can turn customers into raving fans because you're speaking directly to them. It's helpful with new product development. I see a lot of people do this where they are just making stuff up that they think people want, and then they're like frustrated when it doesn't sell. Well, if you have a quiz that is helping you predict what people want, you could figure out the products that are going to sell before you actually build them. Imagine that. And finally, really clarifying your marketing messages. So you know what language to use, you know what pain points to hit upon, you know what stories you want to tell. So if this is helpful to you, give me a 2 in the comments this time. Because now we haven't even gotten into like the super good stuff, right? I don't see any 2s. Where are my 2s at? Or maybe it's not helpful anymore. Or maybe I just need to scroll down. No.
Yeah, they're there, Tai. There's lots of 2s actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh. For a minute, I was like, wait a minute, maybe they can't hear me. So I see a question. Is it better to have the email opt-in before the quiz starts or before? Oh, yeah, you want to get it after they answer the questions. You want to get them hooked, right? If you give me an email box, the first thing I see, I'm not going to be interested in you anyway. But when you start asking me questions, I want to know the answer. Great question. And I'm going to have some space for questions at the end of this. So how do you identify your potential profiles and categories? Do you want to know that? Now, some entrepreneurs might think, I don't know how to figure out profiles. I don't know how to figure out how to create them, how to segment my audience, how to craft the right questions. How do I connect the outcomes to my products? But here's the truth. When you have the right framework and the right strategy, it's 100 times easier for you to get this to work. Now, before I share this with you, here's what you need to know. There are 3 ways to hyper segment your audience. Take a screenshot of this, write this down. You can categorize people by the mistakes that they make. You can categorize them by their goals, or you can categorize them by their behavior. I think this is a pretty with the group, so I'm going to ask you this question. That quiz that we created around what type of lash suits you, was it mistakes, was it goals, or was it behavior that we were categorizing people by? This is the teacher in me, right? I'm always going to pre-ask before we dive into the content. I taught 5th grade years ago. And if anybody on here is a teacher, I applaud you because I don't have the cape and a superhero to rock that kind of job, but you do it. So you will say goals. You know what it is? It's actually behavior. All right. And I see a few of behavior because I want to know what they're doing so that I can say, according to your lifestyle, are you somebody that likes to go out? Are you somebody that likes to wear bold colors? Are you someone that you don't like to wear a lot of makeup, right? That's their behavior. And so I'm using their behavior to now categorize them, or as we say, hyper segment them for my quiz. And you can have a chance to practice with this, right? This is fun. So I'm going to share with you our hyper segmentation grid. I'm going to show it to you now, and I'm going to walk you through actually what we do with clients, okay? You want to see that? If you want to see that, type yes in the comments. If you don't want to see it, we don't have to do it. All right, I got some yeses. Okay, so you want to see it. I'm going to share. So I'm going to stop this sharing, and I'm going to pull up the other screen. And for those of you that have taken a class with me before, I know you're amazed because I only have 2 tabs open. So I'm going to tell on myself. I usually have like 14, 15 tabs open in 2 windows. But I was prepared today. So we've got 2 tabs open so that we can keep things running smoothly. So this is my hyper segmentation grid. Now, the pre-work to actually getting your categories is you got to answer some questions about your business model. And we call this your bankable business model when we teach this, right? And so we want to make sure you're clear about who you serve, the problem that you solve, and the solution that you sell. Because your quiz hinges on those 3 things. If you're not clear about that, it's really hard to create any kind of marketing or any kind of quiz. It'll be off. So who do you serve, what problem you solve, and the solution you sell? And I want to get to this quickly, but here's what I want to say about this problem you solve. Please remember, this is another pro tip. The problem you solve is not what you do. When I ask people what problem do you solve, they're quick to tell me, I'm a graphic designer. Graphic designer is not a problem that you solve. That's what you do. The problem that you solve is maybe you create logos for people who need brand image. Maybe you create websites for people who need to be more visible online. That's the problem that you solve. So that's what you need to be careful of there. So you answer those 3 questions and then you get to the fun part. This is the framework that we teach folks, right? Your hyper segmentation strategy, right? We talked about the mistakes, we talked about the goals, the behaviors, and you get to come up with different quiz titles. So for example, I'll go through a couple of examples with this, like if we're thinking about it. So if I'm creating, actually we'll do this for one of our clients. We're getting ready to redo the quiz for the eyelash lady, I call her that, because she started off with just 5 lashes. Now she has 5 different eyelash lines, right? So she could go with mistakes. And if she was focused on mistakes, she could say, which number 1 magnetic eyelash mistake are you making? That could be her quiz. So people who are looking for magnetic eyelashes and wearing them and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm making a mistake. They're going to be really attracted to that, right? I want to know what mistakes I'm making. Oh no, I don't want to make mistakes. Or the goal, right? Let's talk about what could the goal be, right? Let's see. What the best way to make your eyes pop, right? What's the best way to make your eyes pop? Should you use natural lashes? Should you use eyeliner? Should you use magnetic lashes? Should you get an eye job, right? She could totally do a quiz that way. That's based on what their goals are. Now, if she was doing it on behavior, we could still use the one, which type of lash suits you? right? But we can even get a little bit fancier with that. Which type of, let's see, what type of lash is right for you? So instead of suit, you would just say, what type of lash is right for you? Right? And we're going to base it on behavior. Do you, like I said, do you go out? Do you, stay home? Are you just using it when you go out on a date? Right? Those are the ways that you could segment. Right? So we just broke down 3 different quiz titles, and we brainstorm a whole lot, but you can see I can go with mistakes, I can go with their goals, like somebody wants to learn how to use makeup. What should they do? That's their goal. Or their behavior. What type of lash is right for you? Is this helpful? If this is helpful, type in the comments, yes, this is helpful. Let me know if this is working for you. I see yeses. I see yeses. Yeses, yeses, yeses. So somebody's asking about a score. Scores are a little bit harder. We call that the hybrid, right? But scores are a little bit harder because it's a concrete number. So if you give me a 24, I'm going to categorize, like I failed, do I pass? Like if you give me a 90, am I got an A? Like what does it mean? So with scores, you're always going to have to do a little bit more as opposed to giving them like a category because people like to figure out where they fit. Okay? But that's a good question. So now let's talk about how would you hyper segment like the different categories. So let me do this for mistakes, right? So which type of magnetic eyelash mistake are you making? One of the mistakes might be that, you're not cleaning, your lids, right? So we say cleaning your lids, we might put that as a hygiene bucket. Because did you know that you're supposed to like actually clean off your lids? And if you've got magnetic lashes, you actually have to clean off the magnetic stuff before you put your lashes on. And when you take them off, you're not supposed to sleep in them, right? So that could be one of them. Another one could be wearing, the wrong size lash. And I'm probably telling you way more than you ever wanted to know about lashes, but here's the deal. If you've got thin lashes already and you put heavy eyelashes on, it can ruin your natural lashes, right? So that could be another mistake that they're making. So I'm gonna move over to goals. What's the best way to make your eye pop, right? It could be mascara is one, right? So if she's selling mascara, what she does, she could have all different kinds of mascaras. Or maybe the best way for you to make your eyes pop is to add color. So she's actually got purple eyelashes. She's got crimson crushed red lashes. Who would have thought to wear that, right? Maybe it's mascara, maybe it's color. Maybe it is, new glasses. And I'm saying this because she's actually coming out with the glasses line, right? So you see how we're starting to break this down? What's the best way for your eyes to pop? If you wear glasses and, people that wear glasses sometimes have a hard time wearing eyelashes, but now she can have this whole line of products if she's seeing that response from her audience. And then behaviors, right? We talked about this. So for example, she's got the rich chick. And the rich chick is somebody who likes to look, they like to look chic. They like to, look stylish. She also had one on there, and I'm going to put this, it was called the Wealthy Bee. Was a top seller. She was selling out of these 2 based on the quiz because people would take the quiz and they would get this and then they would go buy the lash. And the Wealthy Bee is somebody, they shop at Saks Fifth Avenue, they shop at boutiques, they don't go to the mall, they're, driving around in a big car. They're wealthy. And then she also had one that's the socialite. The socialite, I dress up when I go out with my girls. I like to look cute when I'm going on Instagram, right? So you're seeing how we're able to break these up. And then what we do is we come in here and we ask questions. And I don't have a time. I see we're running out of time. I don't have time to go into the specifics of the questions, right? But the next thing is now you're going to ask questions that will help you get these answers. So I'll do 2 questions for you for for this one, where we're talking about, their behaviors. One of the questions might be, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but one of the questions might be, when you go out, what do you wear? If you're the person that when you go out, you just like to wear sweats, you're not going to get the rich chick lashes, right? If you're the kind of person that when you go out, you like to dress to the nines and you have the latest style, you're going to be getting like the rich chick. If you're the kind of person that when you dress, everybody is asking you what you want because you're a trendsetter, you would get her glam and gaudy lashes, right? So we have two different types of questions too. We have questions that we use to determine results. And then we also sprinkle in a few questions that will help you segment your audience, but don't necessarily impact the results of your categories. Right? And when we do this, we have so much fun with it, right? So you might be thinking, wow, you're really thinking this too fast, but this is what we do all the time, right? So this is easy. So, but what would the questions be for the goals category? How the other two work. For the goals, I'll do one question, like what's the best way to make your eyes pop? So for example, I would ask somebody, are you allergic to mascara? Are you allergic? Do you wear glasses, right? If you're allergic to certain things and you don't like a lot of stuff around your eyes, you're not going to wear mascara. Right? If you have allergies, you're not going to wear mascara. Right? So those are some of the questions that you can ask around, like what's the best? Do you like wearing makeup in the morning? How much time do you have? Like, or do you, like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to become like this diva, or are you going to a job? Right? If you're going to a job, you're not wearing like 2-inch lashes, hopefully. Right? Well, some jobs you could do it. So this is our grid that we use for hypersegmentation. So has this been helpful? If that's been helpful, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I see a yes. I see you're getting it. I love it, love it, love it. I'm going to go back to this. All right. So I'm supposed to say, want to see how it works. I did ask that question and you did see how it works. So here, I asked my question. Has it been helpful? I'm seeing the ones come in. So let's just do a quick reality check. And we started off talking about this. To generate more sales, you need a steady stream of leads. Most entrepreneurs struggle with getting leads. It's not just you. Most entrepreneurs struggle with this. And by far, using a quiz is one of the smartest and most automated and fastest ways for you to get leads and grow your list.